Okay, so let us discuss about the DOM in JavaScript. So this is called as document object model. Okay, so I can tell you this DOM, the document object model, which is um, an interface between the HTML page and the JavaScript. Okay, so for example, assume that we have some markup here. Okay, so if we have any markup, so how can we access this markup from the script? And this would be the script. Okay, so let us take maybe a function. The function would be there as part of the markup scripting here. Functions are common. So how would a JavaScript function can access the HTML elements? Okay, that is the question. How do this script, the JavaScript, can access the HTML? So for that reason, we need to go for an interface called DOM interface. Okay, so in between the JavaScript engine and HTML page, there would be an interface that is called the DOM interface. Okay, our JavaScript can access all the elements in the HTML document, especially the body elements, because for the body elements, what are the common attributes I told you? Class is a common attribute, ID is a common attribute, name is a common attribute, right? So based on these common attributes, mostly the classes and IDs, based on the mostly the class attribute and the ID attribute, based on these attributes, the DOM is going to access the HTML elements. For what purpose means? Let me write the purpose here. So to create, remove elements. Okay. So the reason might be why we are using the DOM. The reason might be to create, remove elements. Next, to change the text node. Okay, or add new text. Okay, as well as remove text. So using the DOM, we can change the text between the tags. We can add the new text to the tags, and we can remove the text which is already exist in the markup. So when I say markup, that would be the HTML part. Okay. Now, and to change the styles, okay, for an element, we can also change the styles of an element. Okay, an element can have multiple styles. We can change them using the DOM. But keep in mind that all these things will be happen only after making some event raising. If you raise an event, there would be a callback function, and that callback function is going to call this DOM based things. Of course, it's not a mandatory only to be called the DOM only with the events. There is no mandatory like that. Even if you have a normal function, if you make a function call, that would be also fine. So finally, the function to be called either by the user event or by the manual. Okay, manually can also make the function call, So function definition, then immediately if we call the function by using invocation, the function is going to be called. Okay, but all these things, the reasons for using the DOM is for to improve the user experiences. As a HTML is a static, okay, it is used to design the static things for a web page. So how can you make it little bit dynamic, like creating or updating, removing the elements, okay, and changing the text and changing the styles. These are all are nothing but the user experiences, okay. So how will you do that? So let us see with the help of DOM. Okay, so first of all, here you should know about an object called the document object. Okay, so as I told you earlier, every object will have some properties and methods. So properties are nothing but the values, okay, and methods are nothing but the actions. Fine. So that is the purpose of a object is to store the value, and object is to express the behavior of it. Like that, the document object, which is an inbuilt object like a date object. So how the date functions are inbuilt, in the same way there is some more inbuilt objects are there. The document is one of the object, but not a capital D, it's a small d. Let me show you. If we have opened this console, you can just check out here. So type of document, the capital D document, which is a function, it's a function. I'm not speaking about the capital D document. Just a second. So then the type of the small d document, which is an object. See the object, the type of this is an object. So I'm speaking about this one. So this document is your DOM. Okay, this object will let you access all the HTML things from the scripting. The HTML things means not only just creating or adding, removing the elements, but also changing the text, and also by changing the styles of an element. Okay, let me show you a sample. Here not only the script, actually we need to have some HTML stuff to be there, then only it will work out. Then HTML, let me save this. DOM1.html. So for example, in your body, if you have any heading, h1, h1, assume that there is some ID for this, either ID or class name, anything is fine. Some ID name. Okay, and you can use either hyphen or underscore for ID names, anything is fine. But don't use any special characters like dollar for ID names, dollar, ampersand, okay, and star. So either you can use a hyphen or underscore special characters. Okay, main head, some ID name, sample DOM. Now, I'm going to access this h1 from my script. Here in the script, I'll be creating a function change text. I'm creating a function change text. In the change text, using the document object, document object will have some methods. Of all the methods, there is the topmost method, which is more popular method, called get element by id method. So the get element by id method will take id name as a parameter, as an argument. So for which element you'd like to change the text, you need to choose the particular id name of that element. So I'd like to change this text, the sample DOM. It is in the h1 tag. And how can you uniquely recognize the h1 tag? So this h1 can be uniquely recognized by the id of it. That's the reason why id should be unique in your page. Okay, you'll not be getting any issues with the same IDs in the CSS part, but JavaScript will throw errors. CSS will not throw errors. Yeah, so document.getElement by id is a function. So that is the behavior of the document object here. So this object, I mean this fragment will return the object of h1. See, every HTML element will be returned as an object to the script. So want to see that? Let me show you this object. I'll show you. Let it be open DOM1. Sample DOM is there. Control F12. Sorry, function F12. So call the function change text. Yeah, now we have called the function, but there is no either alert or nothing is there. Console.log of, or would be fine if we can store it on a variable. Much better, variable h1 object is equal to, okay, just a variable name, because I'm going to store the object of the h1 tag. So the reason for storing the h1 tag is either to create or to remove, or to change the text, or to add the new text, or remove the text, or to change the styles for h1. So reason for accessing the h1 object from the script might be any of these three reasons. Refresh, call the change text, then display the value. So what is that? H1 object, not defined. Okay, this is a local variable. Now there is no other way for us. You need to display the object here itself, because it's a local variable. This is not a global variable, it's a local variable only to be accessed within the function. But I'm trying to access it from outside of the function, which is not at all possible. h1 obj, refresh. Now just call the function, now it will show the object. So did you see what does it returns? The h1 tag. So it stores the h1 tag as an object here. So after the console.log, if you alert this, if you use the alert to show the h1 obj value, it shows an object HTML element. So change text, call the change text. Now see the alert. So object HTML element. It's a heading element because it's an h1. If it is a p tag, that would be HTML paragraph element it shows. Okay. If it is a b tag, bold, I mean HTML bold element, like that. So it gives different naming for that every object. So if you press OK button, then you can see the console.log, because alerts will have, the pop-ups will have the high priority than the logs. Okay, first alerts will be displayed, then the logs will be happen after that. Even the alert is after the log, but first preference will be given for the alert pop-ups, then the preference will be given for the logs. Now if you press OK, then you can see the log at the console. That's a log. So am I accessing the H1 element or not? Yes. Now what I would like to change? I would like to change the text. Sample DOM to updated DOM. I would like to change the text of it from sample DOM to updated DOM. How can I change it? Means by accessing a property called inner HTML. So the text between the tags is called as inner HTML tag. This is called inner HTML tag. I can change this inner HTML tag by using the inner HTML property. Now where is your object? The h1 obj is your object dot. The property name is inner HTML, which is a predefined property for every element. Every text node elements will have this property. Okay, to change the text between the tags. Or to add some new things also, it will be done. Okay, so first create updated DOM. Open the browser, refresh. Still it's sample DOM, it's not updated DOM. It does not show the updated DOM value. So when it will show the updated DOM means by only after calling the change text function. If you call the change text function, see the text will be changed to updated DOM. Okay, fine. So this is a sample DOM. The sample DOM would be like this. Now let us see what are the different methods in the DOM and what are the different methods will do, how they interact with the HTML elements. So for changing the text and for creating and for changing the styles. Okay, so let us see one by one. So as of all the methods here, the document.getElement by ID is a famous and popular method, because only by this method we can uniquely recognize a particular HTML element, because that's the reason why the ID should be unique. Okay, the ID should not be same for scripting. For HTML, if it could be the same, no issues, but that should not be same for the scripting. So what happens if we have one more element in the same name? See, I'll create a paragraph with an ID same ID. Really here that would be a problem. Just observe. Let us call the change text. See, what just happened for this? Suppose if you try to do any changes for the paragraph, how can you do that? Is it possible to access this paragraph now? Not at all, right? Okay, because multiple headings are there with the same name. Multiple IDs are there with the same name, but the preference will be given for the first used, which is the heading. Okay, got it? So that's why that should be different but not same. Then let me tell you some more properties. Before this, let me discuss some methods. Okay, not only the get element by ID, so we have another method that is called get elements by class name. So multiple elements will have the same class name, you know. For example, the paragraph. Let us take this paragraph, the different class, para. Okay, para 1 or paragraph. Let it be a paragraph. So let me copy all of this. So how many paragraphs are there? Okay, why should we count? The script will count that. Okay, so let us count by using script. So function handle p. I'm just creating a function here, handle p, where p arr, because see why I'm using this name means for this variable, it doesn't mean that the array should have the arr name, but so which is easy to identify because of this is going to be an array. So by calling the get elements by class method, document or get elements by class name. So by using this class name para here, multiple elements are there, multiple HTML elements. These are all the elements which has class name as para. So at a time it will try to return all the objects. So how could it store the multiple objects? It can store the multiple objects by using an array. Okay, you can check it out, console.log of parr.length, which is to find the length of elements, that is a count of number of p elements, count. Okay, that would be the count. Refresh the page. Now call handle p. The count is 8 because there are 8 elements, 8 paragraph elements are there. Okay, now let us change the text between all those paragraphs. So right now the text is same for all the paragraph elements. I would like to number them like 1 paragraph, 2 paragraph, 3 paragraph, 4 paragraph, like that. Let me rename all the text between those paragraphs. So the p array is an array, prr is an array. You can write a for loop here, p I less than parr dot length. A normal for loop only, not a complex loop. Where I equal to 0, I less than parr dot length I plus plus. Okay, so how to return one by one object? Parr of I. Okay, parr of I dot inner HTML is equal to. So how would you want to change this? I would like to show the text like 1 dot paragraph, 2 dot paragraph, 3 dot paragraph, like that. Okay, let me number them. To number, so we should use I plus 1 here because I starts from 0. I should display the, I just want to display the text I want to number from the start. I would like to start the number from the 1 but not from the 0. Okay, I want to see 1, 2, 3, 4 but not 0. Starts from 0, starts from 1. So appending some text, that is dot paragraph. So all these inner HTMLs will be changed for all the paragraphs now. Okay, so how can you see that? Let me show you. Refresh the page first. So I have refreshed. We have the whole text here. Let us get the new text for all the paragraphs. Call handle p function. See there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did you understand? So the document dot get elements by class name returns multiple objects because class names can be same for multiple elements, but object name should be only one. Sorry, ID name should be only unique. That should be unique. And we can have repeated class names, but we should not have repeated IDs for any elements. So get element by ID returns only single object. Get elements by class name returns multiple objects. And it returns an array. The array should be accessed like this using a for loop. Okay. Any doubts here? Any questions? Now let us see the similar method. One more method, which is called get elements by tag name. Same thing, but method name changes. Handle P2. Let's have different name. Get elements by, the only difference is tag name. And here the tag name is P tag. So in the above function, in the previous function, we have argument. We have send the argument is a class name. We have sent the class name as an argument. Here we are sending the tag name as an argument. The first function have the ID name as an argument. Here the ID should be argument for get element by ID. Class name should be the argument, and we should argument tag name for get elements by tag name. Okay, and rest of the things are same. Call the handle P2. Okay, see the same behavior. So these three are the very important for accessing the HTML elements. Okay, and the properties are right now we come to know what is inner HTML property. Like this, there are multiple properties. If you want to add a property also, you can add it. Okay, if you want to remove that, that would also be fine. Okay, let me tell you the properties. Like what you can access means, yeah, let me get you this. I'll create one more function get props. See, now I am going to get all the properties for the paragraphs. Okay, so I would like to get the class name of this paragraph. Okay, how can I get the class name means or ID name? First try to get the ID name, then we'll get the class name of it. Okay, so where object is equal to document dot get element by ID of main head, that is object. Alert of sorry wait, let it be get elements by tag name. Let me put h1. So there will be one object. Let's write up where I is equal to 0, I less than object dot length I plus plus console dot log of ith element ID is, okay, ith element ID is, let me get the ID first. Okay, so properties are nothing but we can access attributes. We can change the text, and we can add an attribute, and we can change the style. So we have seen the inner HTML. Now let us see how can you get the particular attribute, the element. Okay, so already we have the element here in the object. You can access the element by element of I mean object of I. So this could be the object of I, could be the h1 element. Okay, So we have only one HTML element. So this loop will be happen only for one time. Dot. So what is the attribute you'd like to get? ID. Okay. Let me run the get props function. Get props. So the 0th element ID is main head. Did you see there? You are getting the ID of that H1 element. Okay, let it be. Let us create some more H1 elements. Here I am going to create multiple H1 elements. So let's have different IDs. Main head 2, main head 3. So how many sample DOMs we have in the headings? 3. Now if I run the get props method, get props function, now this function, it returns IDs for all these H1 elements. So 0th element ID is main head. 1th element ID is main head 2. 2th element ID is main head 3. So total we have 3 elements, 3 H1 elements. For all the 3 H1 elements, here are the IDs. So it's all about which attribute we'd like to access. That attribute should be at the last after that object. So I'm trying to access the ID attribute of all the elements here. Fine. Now let me set an property. For example, if there is a style class I have. Let me write a style class. See, there is a class called active. Changing the color to red color, the text. So the text which shows in the red color is an active text. Okay. Now let us see another function. This is set prop. I'm setting property for all H1 elements. Same, everything is same. That's why I'm just copying paste here. If I copy paste also, a little bit something to be changed. Let me set obj of I dot. There is a property here we have, so that's called set attribute. Okay, sorry, set attribute is a function but not a property. Okay, set attribute. Set attribute is a function. So which attribute would like to set means class attribute. And what is the name of that class? Active. Now all the H1 elements will get that active class. Okay, refresh this. Just try to inspect this. Inspect the H1 element. Inspect. Can you see that? H1 ID main head, H1 ID main head 2, H1 ID main head 3. But where is the class name? Active. The class name active will be added now only after calling that set prop function. Call the set prop. Yeah, surprisingly here the text have been changed. See, there is a class active added to all the H1 elements. Class active, class active, class active. Clear? Okay. Now if we call the function change text, the main head, I mean the first H1 element text will be changed, but still that will be in the red color itself. Did you see? So once the attribute was added to that element, so that will be fixed till you refresh the page. Okay. So that is like setting the properties, and here accessing the properties. Next, you can also change the style of the text. Let me change the text style for all the paragraph elements. Paragraphs, right? Document dot get class names. Anything is fine. Either this one or this one. Anything is fine. Let me use this. Function change p style. The function name is change p style. P tag. As usual for loop. P error dot length I plus plus. Now p error dot. There is a property called style property, and what you'd like to change. If you'd like to change color, you can just use a color. Color is equal to green. Would like to apply border also, you can apply. Error dot style dot border. The property name is exactly actually border color is a different. If you have border, you can change the border color, but um, yeah. So we'll use the border. I'll give 2 pixel solid. A solid border 2 pixel. Let's execute the function. Change p style. The paragraph style. Something problem is there. Wow, color here. Error dot style. Oh, sorry. See, this is an array, right? We should use index. Okay. We should have to use the index. Otherwise, we won't get that object. So p error means we are trying to apply entire array. That would not be possible. One by one object, we can apply the styles. We can change the styles one by one object. Okay. So one by one, how can you access means array of index. So array of index dot style dot color. Refresh. Change p style. See there. Did you see? We have changed the style. We changed the text. Okay. You can also remove a text. Okay, suppose if you would like to remove the text of the third one, the third DOM, I mean the third heading for this one. If you want to remove this text also, you can remove that. Function remove text. Remove text of, let us take an index number, an index. We need to pass index number as an argument to the parameter index variable. Document get elements by tag name of h1. Okay, now very simple. Object of index, object of index dot, object of index dot, just change the inner HTML to empty. Just empty the inner HTML, will be fine. Refresh. Now remove text of 2. If you would like to remove the third element, the index should be 2. See, there is no sample down, third sample down. Okay, let us use remove text of 0. There is only single down. If you are getting confused, let me number them, then we can understand which one is getting erased. 1, 2, 3. Call remove text of 1. Let me remove the 1. That means second one. See, now there is no second one. Remove text of 2. Third one has been removed. 1 is not there. Okay, and 0. Now there are no headings. Okay, and change p style. If we call, it will be like that. Okay, then one more function. Yeah, call handle p, so that we will get the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with the same style. Okay, it will continue the style as well as it changes the numbers. Yeah, p2 is also same. Properties, set properties. That's it. Okay, so hope you have understand this. The document object things. What is a DOM interface? Okay, now only one more thing here we need to discuss, that is about creating an element. That means handling the elements, like creating, removing elements. Okay, so how can you create, how can you add, and how can you remove the elements? Okay, let me take a new page. DOM2.html. Yeah, so in the body, let me create a div. Okay, okay, let me create another list. Items. Okay, so now I would like to create multiple list items to this another list items. Function add items. Okay, first let us create document dot sorry, create element. The method name is document.createElement, and we should have to store this object in a variable. This is going to be li. I'm going to create li element, li list item. Okay, then yeah, for this list item there should be a text node. So the text node to be there, we should have to do that. So document dot create text node, we should have to use this method also. And what should be the text to be there that we need to provide here? Okay, what is the text that we need to provide? And before that, it would be fine if we get the count of number of list items in the unordered list. Okay, how can you get it? Means just use var count is equal to document dot get elements by tag name. This would be better. Let us take items one. You can take class name instead of tag name. We can go with class. So the ID name for unordered list and the same ID name will be carried forward to the list items to uniquely recognize them in which group they are. Yeah. So this returns an array, and from that array we are getting the count. I mean length. So total the count, the particular count will be stored in the count variable. Now create element. So just create a text node in the name of item hyphen. So whatever is the count, the previous count, just add +1 to that count +1. So first time that would be 0. Okay, the count would be 0. 0 plus 1, which is going to be 1. And next time the count would be 1. 1 plus 1, the count would be 2. Item 2, item 3, item 4, like that. So then after creating the text node, just add the text node to that list item. Yeah, sometimes it's hanging. Okay, so where no. Okay, so to the list item we need to add the text node, right? So we should add the text node to the list item. So the list item is li dot the function here append child method to be used. And which child, which is going to be the child to the list item? The text node is going to be the child to the text to the list item. So list item dot append child of text node. Okay, then where should you have to add this list item? You need to add the list item to the items id, which is a parent object, where parent is equal to document dot get element by id of items 1. Okay, now add a parent dot append child of txt, sorry not txt node, list item. adding list item to the parent. That means unordered list. So to the list item, we have successfully added the text node. Then we are adding the text node, the list item to the parent node. The parent node is the unordered list. This one. Just refresh this. dom2.html. Open the console. Run the function add items. Add items. First item have been added. If we call it again, oh, something wrong is there. Yes, exactly, because the reason is we have added the list item, but there is no attribute for that. The class attribute was not there for the list item. Until unless if we have the class attribute in the name of items one, then only that would be counted. Otherwise, it will not be counted. Okay. So after appending the child, create an attribute. We can also create attributes. So there is a method where attr is equal to document dot um, document dot create attribute. Which attribute? The class. Okay. So now we are going to add a class to that. Then where is going to be the value of that? Actually, you can set the value by using this attribute object. This is the attribute variable. So using attribute object, he can call the value of that attribute. Now we are going to set. So what is the value? The same ID. Whatever the ID we have assigned to the parent unordered list, so the same ID will be carried forward to the childs in the form of class name, but not like ID name. Okay. Yes. Then finally we need to set the attribute, right? We need to set the attribute to the list item. List item dot set attribute. Like how we are adding the text node, in the same way we need to set the attribute. So set attribute node. Where is the attribute node? attr is the attribute object. So this attr object will be added to the list item object. And previously we have added text node object to the list item. Now the list item element contains a text node, contains an attribute. Now the entire list item will be appended to the parent. The parent is, who is the parent here? Items 1, which is an ID. Who is the items 1 ID? Another list. This is the parent. Refresh the page. Open the console. Sorry, not create. Add items. Item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, item 5, item 6. This is like how we are calling the functions manually. Now let me raise an event from the user side by putting a button. If the user keep on pressing that button, automatically that element will be added. So let us do that type of program. Anyways, let me create a button at the top. Button. And the function is, I'm sorry, event is on click. You know, in the JavaScript, in the core JavaScript, events to be binded like an attribute to the element. Okay, events are acting like an attributes here. Then on click on this particular button, what should be done? So I should call the function add items when I press on click on this button. Okay, so create a create an item, create item. So what is the button tag consists of? An event. So that event has a callback function. If you press on click, whenever it receives a click event, it triggers a function. When it triggers a function, yes, obviously we can see some dynamically some additions are going to be happen in your web page. Some new additions will happen now. Refresh the page. You have create item. Let me press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep on doing this. Okay. Now no need of console also to call the function. Yes, of course, we can do that either by calling from the function also. What is that? Add items. See, so far we have 14. If I call the function from the console, that would be 15. We have addition, new addition here after 14. Okay. So this is the way how we can create an element, create a text node, create attribute, setting the value for attribute and adding the attributes, then adding the entire object to the parent. Did you understand? Any doubts? Now let us see how to remove elements, items. Okay. Function, remove items. Just direct function, remove child. Okay. You know what is a parent? The parent would be this one, items one. From this parent, if you'd like to remove a child, so how can you remove the particular child means by providing index number. Okay, so even without using index also we can do that. We can remove from the last. Okay, one by one from the last. So we should get the count before doing this. Count of all the items one. Now remove the child. So what should be the child means? Document dot wait. Let it be child. So parent dot document dot remove child of child dot count minus one. So what is the child of count minus one? So initially if you're trying to remove the first element for the first time, the count would be like, let us take the count is you have added 10 elements. The count will be 10, but the last index position will be 9. So 10 minus 1, which will be 9. Okay. So child of 9, that means the last element will be removed first. So this is removed from the backward. Okay. Or you can use remove last. Similarly, you can create one more function, remove first. Remove first in the sense, how can I do that? So that should start from 0 always, right? That is always 0. That's it. So child of 0. Always the first element to be removed. We need to remove the first element always. Okay. And keep in mind that, but numbers will not be sorted. These numbers will not be sorted, but internally the array representation will be different. So always the first element. If you use a remove first, it will remove from the forward. If you use a remove last, it will remove from the backward. Just add 2 more buttons, or you can use console. Anything is fine. Just refresh. Create element, create element, create element. Created 5 elements. Use remove first. Sorry. Remove first. Something problem. Remove child of undefined. Okay. Sorry. See, that is direct parent dot, not document dot. Okay. There's no document. It's my mistake. Create elements, 5 elements. Remove first. See there. One has been removed. Again, remove first. 2 removed. Let us use remove last. Remove last. 5 will be removed. Something problem. Remove child. Sorry, that is length. Okay, not count. Array dot length -1, but not array dot count. Again, refresh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remove last. 8 removed. Remove last. 7 removed. Remove first. 1 removed. Remove first. 2 removed. But numbers are the part of text. They are not like indexes, these numbers. So whatever the text we are seeing here, there are inner HTMLs. So those text, if you would like to change this text, automatically sorted in ascending order by default. So if you remove the first, the 2 becomes 1, the 3 becomes 2. If you would like to do that, we need to make a separate business logic for that. By default, it will not happen. Okay. How can you remove the exclusive element? Means exclusively. Remove item of index, the index number. Almost everything is same. So child of that particular index, that's it. Same. Child of index number, that particular index number. Let me add 10 elements. Remove item of, I would like to remove 5. 5 means which is going to be 6 here. Item 6 will be removed. See, there is no 6. Remove item of 4. 4 means which is going to be 5. After 4 we don't have 5, 6, but we have 4 to 7. We can go with remove first, 1 remove, and remove last. 10 will be removed. Okay. So did you understand? So this is about the DOM, the document object model. So we have done all these things now, right? So we have created, we have removed the elements, and we change the text nodes, and we add the new text, and we remove the text also, and we change the styles for an element also. That is the reason why should we access the DOM from the script, okay, to the HTML. So the static HTML page becomes here little bit dynamic. Okay, some motion, some events are happening. Okay, if you don't want to do it from that console, you can just create a button. Remove first. Make a callback to remove first function. Then remove last. Callback. Make a call, arrange a callback to the remove last. Okay, so 3 buttons: create, remove, remove. Create, 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 create. Okay. So here now we are going to remove all the elements. Okay, based on user event. Remove first from the forward. This is from the backward. Forward, backward, forward, then done. Again you can create. Again you can remove. Create, remove. Okay. So just created 2 buttons here, and raising on click event, and the callback function is remove first and remove last. For exclusive element, you can create a button, and you can take some prompt from the user for that. Okay, just take user prompt. So here, without having index like this, just create a variable index is equal to prompt. You know what is a prompt? Enter index number. Enter index number. Yeah, okay. Now let us run the program, but there is no method button for this. Exclusive remove. Remove. For this, you can use a function remove item. 4 buttons. Create, create, create. Now remove. So it will ask a prompt. If I enter 7, the 8th one is going to be deleted. See, there is no 8th element. Remove last, remove first, again remove. If I enter 5, okay, that not this one. Right now the order has been changed. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So total we have 4 here. Remove. If I enter 1 here, you know, 4 item 4 will be deleted because that was the 1th indexed. Okay, so the internal array representation indexes and the value, the text value is different after doing some alterations to that elements. Okay, by removing, the order has been changed internally. Okay, so that is about the document object model.